Hey guys, welcome to the Money Zone. I'm your host, Folasade, the accountability accountant. Guys, you see did y'all hear the smooth groove music that my team ended up changing for the intro to the radio show, guys? This is my first time hearing it. So it was like, wow, like a real smooth, like adult groove. But yeah, on another note, guys, I wanted to come on and shift today's Money Zone topic. So we were supposed to be talking about how you guys can utilize AI for your businesses, right? That's what we were supposed to be talking about. But due to the newly information from Instagram, from someone that works in the bank, and from my experience with dealing with the PPP and being on the forefront of trying to prevent you guys from committing the fraud and taking you guys throughout the journey of the whole PPP process, I thought it would be more beneficial for me to come on and talk about the PPP updates you love the new music, the PPP updates that we have found. Okay, so if you guys are watching me on Instagram, I'm sorry you guys cannot see my screen. I tried to simulcast to Instagram like I did yesterday, guys, but I didn't have any success, and I didn't want to drop the live stream again and try it. So I have to figure out what's the full process. So if you guys want to see my screen, because I will be showing you quite a bit of information today. If you guys want to see my screen, head over to our YouTube channel, which is Folasade TV. Is my name, Folasade TV on YouTube, and you will see me live right now. And also, if you guys want to confirm that I've been talking about this PPP stuff for the past, since it started, almost 4 years now, head to my YouTube channel as well. And scroll back. You'll see the content that I was putting out, or better yet, you can probably see it under the reels on Instagram as well. Just go back all the way to 2020 up until now. You will see that I've been talking about the PPP, the loan process, the fraud, and everything that everybody have been committing. And I've been diligently trying to help you guys avoid getting into any mess. So if you guys are ready to deep dive and you want to see my screen, please head over to our YouTube channel, because like I said, I tried to simulcast on Instagram, but I could not today. And I know you guys are like, dang, Folasade, this is the day. You should have been streaming. I tried, you guys. Okay. So Trans say, yes, way to pivot the topic. This is a hot topic. Teach the people. She also said, oh yes, over 4 years, definitely. Stacy say, love the braids. Thank you, Stacy. Okay, so we about to rock this thing going on. So first, guys, let me give you guys some context as to why we're having this topic today, right? So I'm going to show you the Instagram post where this is coming from. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me go to my profile. And then I'm going to share my screen. Okay, all right. So let me share my screen now, guys. We're going to rock this out. Okay. All right. So we first giving context so we can put some meaning behind today's topic.
Specifically a credit union. But that being, I don't know who needs to hear this, but y'all remember those PPP loans that everybody was doing during the pandemic? Baby, I'm working in a bank now, specifically a credit union. But that being beside the point, y'all, they are sending subpoenas every other day, if not more than that, to review the people who were claiming that they had employees. So y'all remember when Biden had said he was going to hire 25,000 agents so that they can go over all of that stuff? It's happening. And I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to a lot of the entrepreneurs. Baby, they're coming for a lot of people, regardless of if you paid that money back or not. So, I can't really say, get your houses in order, because it ain't really even about order. It's literally about you lying on, papers for government funds. Y'all, a lot of people going to start facing jail time. And I think more often than not, people are going to start throwing the people who filed the PPP loans under the bus, because they're the ones who, technically, those are the ones who committed the fraud. but you committed the fraud because it's in your name too, and you're in trouble for all of the money, and you gave them a percentage. That don't even make sense. Get it together, y'all. I don't know who needs to hear this, but y'all remember those PPP loans that everybody was doing during the PPP.
Okay, guys. So that was posted on Grindface. Kudos to Grindface for posting the video up with the lady. And here's the gist, guys. I fully believe what she's saying. Some of you guys don't know that I've been following this since the inception of the PPP process. The moment that they came out with the program, I came online diligently informing you guys not to falsify your tax returns, not to fall bait from all of these people that were promoting the programs. And what had happened was we were getting quite a bit of traction, but I also ended up getting shadow banned from trying to stop you guys from committing that fraud. So now we have this lady saying that she works in the credit union. Okay, and she said that they're now receiving subpoenas. For all of you that don't believe that, let me go and show you when the banks started receiving subpoenas. So my first screen share, my second screen share of tonight will be a document, well, an article from Thomas from Reuters. Hold on, wrong one. Okay, yep, no, that was it. Okay, it says from Thomas Reuters, guys. If you don't know, they're really prominent. Try to give accurate information when they're putting stuff out there, right? And so this Thomas Reuters article says, exclusive: U.S. Justice Department subpoenas Wall Street banks for small business loan information. Look at the date, guys. This was May 15th, 2020. They've been subpoenaing them since 2020. It's just that it's over 5,000 plus banks and organizations and different businesses that were issuing out these loans. It's not just the basic Bank of America that you guys are thinking. It's not just the credit unions, the Navy Federal and the Truist. It's not just those big banks that you guys know of. Think about the little banks that you never see. Think about all of these online e-commerce sites like Cabbage and all of them sites. It was so many, Blue Vine. It was so many companies that were offering the PPP. And so respectively, we have to, give the Department of Justice some grace, because they're not going just after the banks. They're going after the individuals. And so what's happening is it's not just the banks. That's 5,355 banks, right? It's also the individuals, which is millions of people that applied. Okay, then you got the preparers. Then you got the people that promoted the program. So the Department of Justice got so many different initiatives happening right now. And the main course of action was to really crack down. This is, a lot of people say, and I'm going to show you guys some of the comments, and I'm going to answer some of the comments and respond to some of the comments from my Instagram post. But some people were saying throughout the process of me informing people about this, that, oh, this was a setup. Guys, it wasn't a setup. When I first came online telling you guys about this program, it was based off the honor system. The honor system means if I sit this pen outside and I say, I need $20 for this pen. When you go to grab this pen off my porch, you need to put the $20 there and take your pen. That's the honor system. We're going to trust what you give us. So basically, everybody is saying, because the government trusted us to complete the applications properly, that they set us up. That's not a setup, guys. That means we took advantage. Let's really be honest, okay? Let's really, really, truly, we have to be honest right now, because see, our dishonesty has gotten so many people in trouble that it is scary, guys. Like, this is my biggest fear is children losing their moms and dads for $20,000 and $30,000 for PPP loan for multiple years because they have to go to jail. or your credit is messed up, or you're not able to get your refunds for many years. I don't even know how in depth they're going to take this program, guys. Truthfully, I don't know if they're going to penalize you guys with jail time. I think depending on the amount, it might be jail time. I don't know if they're going to allow you to get your refunds and get certain credits. This is an open door situation where they can basically do and implement any type of ramifications from this situation. Okay, so let's go ahead on and look into this article really quick from 2020, because I want to take you guys on this journey. Okay, so let me go back to the article. It says the U.S. Justice Department has sent grand jury subpoenas to big banks seeking records as part of a broader investigation into potential abuse of a $660 billion emergency loan program to help small businesses hurt by the novel coronavirus. Two people with knowledge of the matter told Reuters the previously unreported subpoenas issued by the department's Washington Fraud Division do not necessarily indicate wrongdoing on part of the banks, but will compound growing worries among lenders that they risk being swept up in a federal crackdown on the PPP fraud. The program allows small business, we know what it allows. Policymakers worry that the huge pot of cash has been a magnet for fraudsters, which it has been. Okay. It says the Justice Department opened a probe into the program last month and has already brought criminal charges against borrowers it alleges lied about the state of their businesses and numbers of employees. So when they say state of their businesses, that mean like your revenue. They mean like how many, what was your total net income? What was your profit? What was your top line revenue? That's what they mean. State of means. Okay. All right. It says, due to their critical role in processing the loans, banks have reams of information that could point to other fraud. Grand jury subpoenas allow prosecutors to get their hands on a range of private financial and personal records and to hear witness testimony as part of a criminal investigation. Recipients are not necessarily the subject of a probe and can be cooperating witnesses. So right now, during this article there in 2020, they're saying, well, you guys wasn't the subject. However, I knew you guys were the subject. I know you guys are the subject. So if you guys were to head over to my YouTube channel, like I said, and go back, you will see that I tracked I knew what their agenda was. They wanted to get the data across the board because the bank connects the dots between your businesses and the loans. The banks are the middleman. So what? You got to go for the middleman. You got to go for the middleman. It says a third person with direct knowledge. Here we go, the middleman. A third person with direct knowledge of industry interactions with the Justice Department said the agency wanted to scan bank records for possible wrongdoings. So guys, let me stop sharing really quick. If you guys are watching this and you're enjoying this content, please share the video because a lot of people have been duped and still think that this thing is a game, still think that they're not responsible, or still think that that money should have been, was free money. So please share this video, guys, with your friend, your family, and Instagram. If you want to see my screen, head over to my YouTube channel, which is Folasade TV. I was supposed to stop sharing the screen, guys. Look, I'm trying to get used to this thing. Okay. It says the first two sources said major banks have received the subpoenas but did not provide names. Industry data shows JP Morgan, Chase, Citigroup, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo were among the biggest banks to participate in the program. Okay, so that's in 2020, all right? So now, after 2020, remember they had another round. So remember, you guys were supposed to submit your information for the second round, and they ended up changing the specifications to qualify for the second round. And during that second round, I also came on, and let me see if I can even, give me a second, guys. I was trying to pull up some of my videos, guys, but we got so much content. A lot of you don't know I've been creating content since 2014. Okay, so I have years and thousands of videos. Let me see what I can find, like my oldest PPP videos. I have thousands of videos. Date modified. Let me see. Why I just can't do like latest date? Okay, hold on. Relevancy. First added. Okay. Okay, so no, this is old. Anyway, okay. Okay, so let me just show y'all behind the scenes really quick. I don't want to show you guys each and every one of the videos. Head over to my YouTube channel because all of the videos are on my YouTube channel. But let me give you some context. This is me. This is me. This is my PPP. I mean, this is my storage where I house all of my content, all of my videos that I've done. So as you can see here, I searched PPP. It's 63 videos starting from April 7th, 2020, April 14th, April 17th, April 22, April 29th, May. All of this is 2020, all the way up. Okay, still PPP, PPP. We're all the way in December 2020. We're now in January 2021. Still talking about the PPP, still talking about the PPP. These are hours and hours worth of content, you guys. So if you want to see these, head over to my YouTube channel. So then now we're in October 2021, still talking about the PPP. I connected the dots between the banks, the IRS, the Department of Justice, every gave you guys the type of fraud that you will commit by doing it, which is tax fraud, wire fraud, bank fraud, all sorts of conspiracies. It's just serious. So this is now 2022, still talking about the PPP, 2022. And when I do my content, guys, I share my screen and everything. And I give you guys the laws and the documents from those agencies. I don't just come up with and copy no news article. I normally actually beat the news article before they even come out. Okay, so when you guys hear content from me, most of the time it may not even have been public information yet because the news haven't broken down. So we're all the way in August 2023 that I've been talking about this PPP. My last PPP video my team put here was October 2023. So I wanted to show you guys that, just to let you guys know, it was people like myself that was out here diligently trying to prevent you guys from getting into stuff. Chandra said, I have added some, okay, links in the comment. Okay, thank you. Wow. Wow, right after the March 13th. Yeah, so my daughter's birthday is March 14th. And I actually have more content than that. I need to figure out what happened because my team sometimes cannot keep up with a lot of the content, but they're doing their best. So if you guys want to really see the content, head over to my Facebook, and I know everything is on the Facebook. All of the content is on the Facebook. Okay, so let me get back into the PPP journey. And if you guys have any questions at all, post them there. What about the new tax laws? I talked about the new tax laws in yesterday's video. I did a 2024 tax updates. And if you want anything in particular, put it in the Q&A and I'll do a live stream on that, okay? Okay, so let me find my other article, guys. Give me a second. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead on and stop sharing the Vimeo. Now we're going to go and look at the Government Accountability Office. They did a audit. So if you guys don't know, the Government Accountability Office audits the Internal Revenue Service, the Treasury, and different entities tied to the government, okay? And they really track the monies, okay? And so the Government Accountability Office did an audit of the fraud that was associated with the PPP. As you can see, they did this article as in May 2023. This is their report. This is not an article. This is their report. This is their findings based on the fraud, okay? So this is actually the Government Accountability Office findings of the SBA pandemic fraud, okay? This is the real data that we're looking at. No fluff, no lies, no third parties. We're going to the source, okay? All right, so let me make sure you guys can see my screen. Okay, yes, you guys can see my screen clearly. Alrighty, so you guys have to bear with me because remember I was supposed to be talking about something else. So I didn't have time to go in length into this document, okay? But let's just go ahead on and peruse this really quick, and let's go over briefly what the Government Accountability Office found. And the reason why we're going over this document is just so we can be clear. It's just so you guys can be well aware that what that lady has said about the government's being subpoenaed is correct. And everything that I've been telling you guys over the past 4 years have been correct. Many of you thought I was trying to fearmonger you, scare you into thinking that the money was yours because you guys didn't agree with me. A lot of you bashed me, told me F off. I remember. And now look, we're here. We're here, guys. I warned you. I tried my very best. Some of you guys didn't listen. A lot of you guys listen, and you guys tell me all the time, thank you, Folasade, because if it wasn't for you, girl, I would be caught up. Now, all of those people that did the right thing, they're happy now. All right, let's go into it. Okay. So it says the Small Business Administration moved quickly under challenging circumstances to develop and launch pandemic relief programs to help small businesses. These programs, including the PPP and COVID-19 EIDL, totaled over $1 trillion and assisted more than 10 million small businesses. However, in some instances, relief funds went to those who sought to defraud the government. As schemes emerged, SBA adapted its fraud risk management approach and added controls to help prevent, detect, and respond to fraud. The Government Accountability Office, I'm going to just start saying GAO, analyzed 330 PPP and COVID-19 EIDL fraud cases. Federal prosecutors across the United States filed. So this is the thing. The Government Accountability Office, guys, let me give you context, because some of you will say, oh, they only analyzed 330, don't know what you're talking about, or whatever. So the Government Accountability, as an accountant, right, if we do audits, we don't, let's say if it's 1,000 people that we're auditing, we don't audit all 1,000. We take a sample. So we will take maybe 150 or 300 of those 1,000 businesses and then run a full audit on those businesses and then compare the numbers according to the applicants to figure out the percentage of fraud. So that's what the Accountability Office did. They took 330 cases for PPP and did an audit on this. This does not mean that those are the only cases. Those are the cases that the Government Accountability Office have reviewed and have come up with their own assessment on the amount of fraud schemes and things like that. So based on their numbers, I think it was like 69% of the applications was fraud. Based on that numbers determines the initiatives that the DOJ and IRS and the FBI will move, because now the Government Accountability Office is going to hold them responsible. So then now they're going to go after the remaining people and do that. I just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people you guys don't know how data is scrapped or how people audit, and I have to be very clear so you guys can be well aware that we don't audit everybody. We take a percentage, which we call a sample data, okay? All righty. Okay, it says the Government Accountability Office analyzed 330 PPP and COVID EIDL fraud cases. Federal prosecutors across the United States filed bank fraud, wire fraud, money laundering, identity theft, and other charges against 524 individuals associated with these cases. The analysis is based on fraud cases publicly announced by the Department of Justice as of December 2021. So here's the thing, guys. Please be mindful. that based on the new laws that were implemented, they have an additional 10 to 15 years to audit the PPP and the loan recipients. And don't forget the people that have done the unemployment schemes. They're all connecting everything. If you done unemployment, PPP, EIDL, all of those are going to come full circle. Right now, the majority efforts from the FBI and stuff is on the federal level, okay? So here's the thing. They said in those cases, so out of those cases, the DOJ charged individuals with misrepresenting eligibility. So that means they basically said on their application they had this number, but that number wasn't right. But those numbers ended up having them being eligible for the loans. Okay. So they put in fraudulent information on the application so they can become eligible. They also saw that people were falsifying documents, using stolen identities, and deliberately exploiting the programs by conspiring with each other, sharing knowledge on how to circumvent controls, meaning how to get around not being able to qualify, how to get around qualifying and obtaining kickbacks. And then some people were paid, from, filling out the applications and doing shady stuff. For the 155 of the 330 cases that reached conclusion through guilty pleas or convictions, GAO calculated about 188 million in direct financial losses across these cases. 330 cases, 188 million. As of December 2021, 94 individuals have been sentenced to an average of about 37 months in prison. The number of cases will continue to grow. As of January 2023, the SBA Office of Inspector General had 536 ongoing investigations, and the statute of limitations has been extended to 10 years to prosecute individuals who committed PPP and EIDL-related fraud. And if you guys been following me for these years, you already knew this. You already knew that it was bank fraud, wire fraud, falsifying documents. You already knew that they extended the time. This is why, it might feel like I was screaming, don't want you guys to come up. No, I wanted you guys to come up, but I want you guys to come up off your sweat, blood, and tears, baby. I don't want you guys coming up off scamming. I don't want that for us. So Chandra said, it was crazy. One of the PPP pros blocked you and was processing those loans left and right. Yes, I remember that. That's why a lot of financial professionals stopped following me too, y'all. They blocked me, everything. It was a mess, y'all. What Stacy say? What about the EIDL? That's exactly what they're referring to as well, the EIDL as well. So it's the PPP and the EIDL. And don't think that you're out of the woodworks if you did anything with the unemployment, because unemployment is more so state-based, okay? The only way that the federal would get involved with unemployment cases is if that state more than likely got a lot of funding from the federal to pay for the unemployment for the state, okay? All right, here we go. So let's just go and look at some highlights. It says select GAO analysis of PPP and COVID-19 EIDL data, including comparisons with the National Directory of New Hires, wage data, identified over 3.7 million unique recipients with fraud indicators. Do y'all hear this? They're saying about 3.7 million people had fraud indicators on their applications. So this is a lot of people. 3.7 million. And this is just beginning. Remember, they just said that it's going up out of 13.4 million. Fraud indicators can be used to identify potential fraud and assess fraud risk. They are not proof of fraud. Additional review, investigation, and adjudication is needed to determine if fraud exists. To that end, GAO referred the unique recipients with fraud indicators it identified to the SBA, OIG, for further review and investigation. The unique recipients identified include potentially non-existent businesses or businesses that may have misrepresented employee counts to obtain more funds. However, it is possible that the analysis identified non-fraudulent recipients with data discrepancies consistent with an indicator. So they also said some people that didn't commit fraud may have fallen within that because you guys didn't have the right data. And those are the people that I mentioned to you guys, you didn't do your bookkeeping correctly. So your numbers was a little off, but it wasn't intentional fraud. Okay. It says, while the SBA has conducted its own analysis to identify recipients with fraud indicators, it does not have access to the NDNH database. I don't know which database that is, guys. I got to see. And could not have performed the same analysis as GAO. This is why the Fed is subpoenaing people, because they don't have databases to be able to access all of the information. So this is why they have to subpoena the banks. This is why they have to subpoena some tax preparers. This is why they have to go after the promoters. This is why they have to go through third parties to get your data. And this is why I begged you guys in 2019 to do right. I begged you guys in 2020 to file your taxes correctly. And for all of you that didn't have legitimate businesses, I also begged you guys not to take this money. It wasn't worth it. So Stacy asked a good question. She said, does this pertain to the ERC as well? So this particular investigation does not pertain to the ERC, what we're talking about right now. But yes, the ERC is within that bundle. They said that they have over 600 applications and 95% of those ERC applications were fraud. So what they're doing now is auditing those people, having those people withdraw the applications, and also sending them to the Department of Justice. So that is a separate investigation, but that ERC and that sick leave pay is also being investigated as well. And the reason why I'm talking about all of this is because all of this directly connected to your tax returns. As an accountant, as an IRS enrolled agent, as a tax accountant, it was our duty to prepare you guys and give you guys the knowledge and information to do things right, because this was directly connected to your tax returns. And because of that, and because people think that they can do our job, or you have a lot of fraudulent tax professionals, they use this as an opportunity to get rich quick rather than to serve you guys. And a lot of you fell for the bait. I'm so hurt because I don't know what the ramifications are going to be behind this. And I can't even imagine what may happen, what programs you guys may miss out on. Some of you may not be able to get your housing anymore. Some of you may not be able to get your TANF anymore. Some of you may not be able to qualify for the child tax credit or be able to take business expenses in the future. Like some of you guys don't realize, let me stop sharing really quick so you guys can see my face. Some of you guys don't realize that the IRS have the authority to prevent you from qualifying for certain tax credits based on your past history. So because you've already defrauded the state, defrauded the federal, they have a clear right to say that you cannot claim certain tax credits. And they will say the basic ones, which is child tax credit, the education credits, child care credits. And honestly, if you defrauded them on the business side with claiming expenses that were not accurate to qualify for the PPP, they also have a right to say that you are ineligible to claim expenses that are not directly overhead. So like if you had coaching, car expenses that were outside of the norm, they may not let you claim it. And so some of you guys don't know that, but they can do that. I've seen, yeah, it's people that you know of that can't even claim their kids. They just don't tell you guys that. They claim them, but they can't take the credit for it. Okay. So Shannon said, my city was saturated with fraud. Not good. Girl, everybody's city was saturated. What I didn't appreciate was those PPP people were bashing you guys that didn't want to get the application. That didn't want to get into it and get the money. I had so many clients tell me, Folasade, my friends been talking about me all this time, laughing at me, making fun of me because they're able to travel and do all of this, and I didn't get the PPP money. If you guys didn't do it, I commend each and every one of you guys because the temptation was out there. Okay, so guys, let's go. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit because remember, I'm going through this with you guys. Okay, it says these are the unique PPP and COVID EIDL recipients with fraud indicators. So these were like the fraud indicators. Okay, so 2.1 million recipients had no wage data. They claimed employees on applications. Oh my gosh, guys, I told you guys, do not manipulate those 941s. People were creating 941s, trying to convert contractors to employees at the last minute, trying to come up with fake employee names and social security numbers so they can complete the 941s, didn't submit unemployment reports. And see, guys, let me stop sharing again. Let me tell you, and here's why I'm again able to talk about this is because in my firm, we process payroll. So that W-2 you get, we process it for companies. The 1099s you issue to your companies, to your clients, we issue those. The quarterly reports, I process those. So the moment that you guys ended up going with somebody to actually do the PPP, one thing you didn't consider was the connections. Your 941 that you report to the IRS on a quarterly basis, which is one of the statements that a lot of you guys misrepresented, should also match your unemployment report that you issue to your state. This is why the state and federal is going to work collectively. It's because that information should match. And see, what y'all didn't do was file that same information with the state. Y'all filed it on a federal level to get the PPP money because you needed it to get the application, or you didn't submit it to the IRS, but you submitted to the bank. But what you forgot was that if that information was correct, you should have also filed an unemployment report to match that with your state on a quarterly basis. In addition to that, on an annual basis, we submit a form called 940, which is your federal unemployment report. That shows the total wages that you paid your staff for that year. A lot of you did not report a 941. A 940. And that 940 should match all of the 941s and all of your unemployment reports. In addition to the 940, your W-2s should also match. Then your check register should match. Then your bank statement withdrawals should match. Do you guys see the paper trail? And you guys missed every step because you couldn't misrepresent that much data. So we're here now. Y'all didn't only did the 941s, did some shady stuff. And I'm not laughing at you guys. I'm so goddamn disappointed because I know a lot of Black people are going to be impacted by this. Okay. All righty. So the next thing was different employee totals. The number of employees reported on the applications was higher than the actual number of employees reported to the National Directory of Hire. Okay, so now I know what the National ND, remember guys, I said, oh, what is that NDNH? Okay, as a payroll provider, every time you hire a new employee, right, we are required to report to the state of that new person that you hire. So let's say, for example, you own a construction company and you hired me. Within 30 days of processing your payroll, me as the payroll company will report me as the employee to the hire registry for your state. The hire registry will then report the information to the National Directory of New Hires. So what they're saying is that new hire report does not match, and that new hire report should also match the unemployment for that quarter as well. Okay. All right. So guys, are you getting what I'm putting down? Put one in the chat if you're getting what I'm putting down. It does seem like I'm talking gibberish. or what? Or you guys are understanding, we're on the same wavelength. You guys are seeing the connections in the paperwork. Now you kind of understand why I did not want you guys to do the fraud, because it's too much of a paper trail. It was too much. And but the people that, because remember guys, I'm Nigerian, I'm Black American, I grew up in the streets. You understand? I know all of the tricks. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, people are going to, try to take advantage and don't understand the game and the amount of the paper trail, and y'all gonna fall prey. And that's exactly what happened. But let me know, put one in the chat, guys, if you understand in the paper trail. And now you understand why they have to subpoena the third parties to get the data. It's just so much coming to a head right now. Okay, so I'm seeing some ones in the chat. Okay, so I'm about to go back and share my screen, guys, okay? And remember, guys, if you're enjoying tonight's content, please share the video. I know you guys don't want to hear this. You guys are not happy because, honestly, some of you guys have probably committed the scam. But as I told you guys before in my video, I believe in Jesus Christ. And if I were you, I would be praying, repenting, and hoping that he actually protects you if you did anything, because you've already falsified the applications. You've already done the dirt. You've already spent the money. Now it's between you and your God. If I were you, that's what I would be doing. Really fasting and then making some promises and keeping God's promise, because we don't know the impact. And some of you non-believers, I don't know who you guys will pray to for that type of blessing, but I know how my God worked when I needed him in situations. Like I remember, guys, when I couldn't renew my license one year, he shut the whole system down. I believe he could do miraculous things. So it's time for you guys to pray. I asked you guys to do right now. The thing that I'm concerned too is we already caught up on the PPP. Please, I hope y'all didn't continue filing a fraudulent tax returns, because I begged you guys, if you did a PPP scam, please file your returns the right way after that, because that would have you guys added on more problems. You already did a PPP scam. Then if you filed your taxes wrong, after that, deliberately, you didn't add it on more problems. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, so let's go back to the article. And guys, I'm trying to get this flip thing going. Okay, so the next thing is they said they received multiple loans. More than the allowed number of applications were approved and funded for a loan or an advance. So more than likely, a person probably, tried to, flip-flop that name, flip-flop that social security and get that EIN number and things like that to get multiple different loans, okay? They also reused information. So it says different unique recipients shared underlying business information, such as business names and addresses. So y'all were sharing people's information. So y'all was probably sharing employees, CEOs, resident agents, all sorts of things. Okay, and then provided different information to each program. Recipients that participated in both the PPP and the COVID EIDL programs provided different business information, such as different business type, organizational structure, and everything. So they have 3.7 million applicants that have fraud indicators on there. Do you guys see this number right here? 3.7 million. Out of 13.4 million applications, 3.7 million have fraud on them. Okay. Now, it says the SBA has employed data analytics to enhance fraud prevention and detection. For example, the use of analytics contributed to the SBA determining that some PPP borrowers were ineligible for loan amounts or used them for unauthorized purposes, resulting in 4.7 billion in loan proceeds not being forgiven. In addition, SBA referred over 669 potentially fraudulent PPP and COVID EIDL loans to the SBA OIG for investigation after using data analytics and conducting manual reviews. SBA enhanced its analytical capabilities during the pandemic and had recognized that it will benefit from further development if its data analytics program. So basically saying they're going to continue using it. And the SBA has opportunities to continue to improve its ability to prevent and detect potentially fraudulent transactions. Okay, let's go past this. Okay, so one thing I wanted you guys to look at, it was one page on here. What did I click? I think it was the non-financial thing. Okay. All righty. So here's the thing, guys. Let's read this. This was interesting. Okay, so table 3 that we're looking at right now, and it says non-financial impacts of fraud in PPP program. Non-financial impact, affected parties and impact. So we're going through this document. The stakeholders, which is the federal government, okay? Security, which is the local communities and the security entrants. The victims, fraud victims harmed through identity theft, and fraudsters, okay, being caught. Okay, all right, let's fast forward. It says the diversion of funds from PPP and COVID EIDL by fraudsters mitigated the broader effectiveness of economic relief goals to assist small businesses and their employees affected by the pandemic. Funds diverted by fraudsters were unavailable to eligible businesses, which is true, who would have used them for payroll, rent, or other qualified business expenses. Specifically in 2020, PPP and EIDL advances ran out of funds, leaving small businesses temporarily unable to obtain needed relief. I remember that, guys. And I remember me having clients that were actually eligible, but they ran out of money. It was a mess. Legitimate businesses really got duped. I'm going to be honest. The real businesses got duped, and the fraudsters came, swept, and got not only the advances, but the loans. It was a mess, guys. Do y'all remember that? Put one in the chat if you remember going and then trying to apply, got your paperwork in order, and they said the advances and stuff ran out. I remember Folasade in the chat. Okay. It says further, some fraudulently obtained funds were redirected from supporting payroll and other small business needs into other economic activity. Specifically, fraudsters placed unlawfully obtained funds into communities and the economy through purchases of luxury goods, such as apparel and jewelry, real estate and vehicles, and by paying debts, making home improvements, and secure investments, among other things. Individuals were charged with using PPP and COVID-19 EIDL funds to purchase luxury goods such as Rolex watches and items from Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Christian Louboutin, Dolce & Gabbana, and Gucci. A number of individuals were also charged with purchasing luxury vehicles such as products from Cadillac, Ferrari, Mercedes, Rolls-Royce, or Tesla, as well as Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Individuals were also charged with purchases involving cryptocurrency, firearms, farm animals, radio airtime, and political campaign donations. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do y'all hear that list? They got everything down here. Did y'all hear that list? I think what made me laugh the most when they said farm animals. They said we were purchasing farm animals, Harley Davidson, firearms, and contributing to political campaigns. Like literally. People was running it up big time, y'all. People was running it up big time. Big time. People was running it up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. I'm sorry, somebody put on here, guys, Trump supporters. Somebody put on here, this is a list. Yes, it is, Stacy. Stacy, it's a list. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Good late evening. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? Guys, if you're just coming into the live stream, we're going over the information that was released by a lady that says she worked in a credit union, basically saying that the banks are being subpoenaed. And a lot of people don't believe it. But I told you guys this was happening since 2020. And so this has been happening in 2020, so I'm not surprised that the banks are, subpoenaing and are being subpoenaed. I'm not surprised. I just want you guys to be well aware of what's happening now, guys, because you guys have been duped. A lot of you are just finding me. And so you really haven't had nobody that tells you guys the absolute truth about taxes, the absolute truth about their experiences in business and the real deal. Guys, I give you the full truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. I try not to limit anything or what they say, the gatekeep any information, anything I learn. I try to come and teach you guys. But I'm going to be really honest with you. It was challenging seeing you guys fall trap to all these scammers. And y'all just left a bad taste in my mouth. I still pushed it to the limit, but y'all left a very bad taste in my mouth. When you have real legitimate professionals that been in the game for 10, 15, 20 years telling you guys don't scam, don't do this, and y'all say, that's what y'all did. And then now look here. Now y'all probably going to cry tonight saying, God, Folasade, I saw her in 2020. She was screaming, talking about don't get the PPP, but I needed the money. That's between you and your God, okay? And I'd be asking my team, did we do enough? I think we did enough, guys. So I don't feel like I didn't do my part. I think I did my part. So Michael says, I'm driving and can't pay attention. Can you save this live? Yes, they are being subpoenaed. Guys, and just know if you can have any questions, put in the Q&A. Okay, so what number is this? Figure number PPP loan case involving Department of Justice charges of asset misappropriation. Okay, some use for personal use, personal financial transactions, vehicles, luxury goods, travel, other electronics, gaming, and everything. They said they also found that fraudsters diverted $4.5 million to other countries as well. So y'all was sending money. Here's the countries. Oh my gosh, they really did a whole. Oh my gosh, y'all, but do y'all see? Wait, no, Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, Uganda, wait, United Arab Emirates, Hong Kong, Singapore, China, South Korea, United Kingdom, Canada, Honduras, Mexico, Peru, Dominican Republic. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, they didn't trace the money. You guys. Let me ask you a question, Stacy. So are you talking about, so Stacy's asking me, are you referring to the self-employment tax credit is a factor? So I'm going to be honest with you, Stacy, that self-employment tax credit has been so misrepresented. Even as a seasoned tax professional, I had to go and look into what people were asking me when people were asking me, is that credit legit? Is that credit legit? So what people have done, let me just give y'all some context. So what people have done, they took that COVID sick leave pay and gave it its own special name called the self-employment tax credit. Then gave it its own name called the self-employment tax credit. So yes, that self-employment tax credit will fall into the loop. Now, what she's referring to is if you had person that was sick, or if you were sick and you had COVID. Let's say if you ended up getting COVID, or your family member ended up getting COVID, and you had to stop working. You were able to get up to like $32,000 on as a tax refund. That credit is real, but people took advantage of that. So yes, that credit will fall in the loops of it. So what's happening, all of those programs fall within this whole scheme, okay? Because they're all connected. That self-employment tax credit that she's referring to, that COVID relief credit, sick leave credit, is also going to be shown. And some of you guys are going to be audited. A lot of you guys are going to be audited for that credit as well, because you had to have had COVID. So you needed some type of COVID document, medical letter, test positive, some proof that you or your family member was sick and couldn't work. You understand? So some people are still going to get caught up. Some people just lied and said that the family was sick and didn't get sick. So short answer, and I can do a whole nother live stream on that one as well. But short answer, yes, Stacy, all of those COVID relief programs fall within the issues that we're facing right now. It is not just the PPP. It is not just the EIDL. All of it's coming to a head. Okay, guys? No, wait. No, somebody said they know Jamaica on the list. No, I don't see Jamaica. I don't see Jamaica, but they didn't. That might be. They probably didn't list it on this sheet, but it might be. Yes, definitely Jamaica. Okay, guys. Okay. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do. Oh my goodness, says funds fraudulently obtained by the SBA pandemic relief programs were used to fund criminal activities such as drugs and guns, putting communities at risk. Our analysis of 330 PPP and COVID-19 cases identified charges in 10 cases involving criminal groups. So it wasn't just regular smuggler people. You had organized crime groups extorting the government. They were also doing racketeering and extortion involving illegal gambling. Yeah, this is a lot, guys. This is a lot. Okay, so let's read this. It says impact on fraudsters, because I know this is what a lot of you guys want to know about. What is the impact? And so remember, guys, I am not an attorney. The only reason why I'm talking about this is because all of this is directly correlated to, I'm not a criminal attorney. I'm trying to become a tax attorney. All of this is tied directly into your tax return, okay? And a lot of you guys may end up being audited, and I may have to represent you guys in an audit to prove that you did have a business, and to prove that some of those expenses and things were legitimate and things like that. So you guys won't get hit hard, you know? And hopefully in the next 2 years, I'll be done studying and I can, be you guys' save a day. Okay. So the impact on fosters. When crime is committed, fosters may experience a sense of satisfaction from illicit enrichment. Once caught, however, they can experience prison time, financial penalties, loss of employment, and unfavorable publicity, while also inflicting emotional distress on their families. For example, one couple that fled before sentencing in a PPP and EIDL case admitted that their actions brought danger and fear to their children. Another foster who lost his job as a senior government official expressed shame and remorse for abusing the government while being entrusted to be a good steward of government resources. In addition to the cost of incarceration and supervision borne by the federal government and ultimately U.S. taxpayers, loss of personal freedom as a result of PPP and COVID EIDL fraud affected many fosters. Our analysis identified 80 closed PPP and EIDL criminal cases where individuals were sentenced to prison, supervised release, or probation. Across these cases, 94 individuals have been sentenced to prison. cumulatively sentenced to service in over 3,500 months, with an average sentence of about 37 months. 89 individuals were sentenced to a cumulative of 3,400 months of supervised relief. Additionally, 9 individuals were sentenced to serve cumulatively 310 months of probation. Some defendants had sentences that included prison and supervised release. According to the DOJ, individuals who were sentenced under certain statutes are mandated to also receive a term of supervised release after the term of incarceration. See Figure 10 for information on sentences ranges for individuals sentenced to prison, probation, and supervised release. So as you guys can see that they are sending people to prison. Almost 94 individuals were sentenced to prison. Remember, it was how many cases? Out of 330, they're just beginning. 84 had supervised release. 9 had probation. It says the analysis is based on 80 closed PPP EIDL cases that reached the sentencing phase as of December 31st. So now they are working. They're working. They are working. So yeah, guys, I cannot go through this whole document. As you guys can see, it's 154 pages. I cannot go through that whole document. Okay. But I can answer any of you guys' questions. Yeah, I can answer any of you guys' questions. Y'all get ready. Tax season is gonna. Tommy says, y'all get ready. Tax season is gonna be raw. Yes, 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 it is. I'm ready for it though. This is this game time for me. It's always kind of raw. But I'm just hoping that you guys just do right this tax year. Please don't try to scam to get the child tax credit and the earned income credit and do nothing extra. Y'all done got yourselves into enough mess these last few years. We do not need to add on to any more mess, okay? Stacy said federal employer identification number. I don't understand what you mean. In a year or so, those numbers are going to be staggering. Yes, they're going to be staggering. This is just the beginning, guys. They're going to keep extending the statute of limitations too. I have to jump off. Have a good evening. Thank you for your knowledge and sharing. You're welcome, Stacey. I appreciate you. Okay, guys. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to that Instagram post. Okay, because a lot of people will be thinking I come on here and I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. But guys, let me be very honest. I don't do nothing but speak the truth. I'm just not that person. I'm not understanding. Something is weird. I can't even see my comments. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm about to share my screen really quick and we're about to go over some of these comments on my post and some of these questions that's on my post that I shared, okay? And guys, just so y'all know, today's the first day that I've been able to stay up. I've been jet lagged forever. Since I came back from Nigeria, I have not been able to stay up since past 7 o'clock. So one person said, if you paid it back, you'll be all right. Nope, that is not true, guys. Even if you pay back the PPP, you fraudulently completed the paperwork. You fraudulently misrepresented your business on the tax documents and everything. So Tommy said the crooks are the ones that say you don't know what you're talking about. Exactly. Exactly. Look, what I know, I connect the dots, guys. My brain, I wish y'all could see sometimes in my brain, that thing be moving, y'all. Like I can literally analyze everything in seconds, like numbers, connections, patterns, trends. I see it quickly. So no, it's not true, guys. Even if you ended up paying it back, you falsified the paperwork to get the loan, okay? All right, so one of the next questions was, somebody else said that they paid it back. they will be okay. Now, if it was forgiven and you still paying on it, you most definitely have a problem. That's not true. Even if the application was forgiven, even if the loan was forgiven, even if you paid back the loan, you falsified the paperwork. See, guys, when you complete federal paperwork, and let me show you what I mean. It says it, every federal document has a disclaimer at the bottom. Give me 1 second. PPP loan. It had a disclaimer at the bottom. Okay. And the moment when it says perjury and all of that stuff, they ask you, are you being honest? And you agree to it when you sign and when you submit your application. So the moment that you guys put that information on the paperwork and it's wrong, you're done. What I was trying to do was find the application. Let me see if I found one. Let me see. You know, we haven't accessed this stuff in a long time. Okay, I'm going to read it to you guys. Okay. All right. See, you guys are getting this live in color, guys. Live and in color. Yes. Okay, so let me share my screen. Hold on, guys. Let me. I thought I could add on more stuff like different tabs. Okay, hold on. Share my screen. Okay, so right now we're looking at a PPP application. So you guys can see what I was referring to when I said that the moment that you guys completed the application application with the intent to fraud is where the jail time. It's not about the amount necessarily. Now, the lower the amount, you might get probation. You understand? You might get, you might. Now, don't take my word for it. You might. But if they consider it the normal time frame for committing wire fraud, this fraud, all of this stuff, then we have an issue. It says, by signing below, you make the following representations. That's key. Authorizations and certifications. I certify. So by you guys completing that first round and second round of that PPP and EIDL, you certify that you have read the statements included in this form, including the statements required by law and executive orders, and I understand them. The applicant is eligible. So you certify that the applicant is eligible to receive a loan under the rules in effect at the time this application is submitted that have been issued by the Small Business Administration and the Department of Treasury, implementing the PPP program under Division A, Title I of the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Securities Act. The next one says, you certify that the applicant, together with its affiliates, one is an independent contractor, self-employed individual, or sole proprietor with no employees. Two, if not a housing cooperative, eligible 501c6. So you were certifying that you literally were self-employed, a sole proprietor, independent contractor. Okay. You also certify that you will comply whenever applicable with the civil rights and other information in this form. You certify that all loan proceeds will be used only for business-related purposes as specified in the loan application and consistent with the PPP program rules, including the prohibition on using loan proceeds for lobbying activities and expenditures. If applicant is a news organization that became eligible for a loan under Section 317 of the Economic Nonprofits, will be used to support expenses at the component of the business concern that produces or distributes locally focused emergency information. So even depending on your structure, type of business that you had depends on the loan. You understand that the SBA encourages the purchase to the extent feasible of American-made equipment and products. The applicant is not engaged in any activity that is illegal under federal or state law. Any EIDL loan received by the applicant of the small business between January 31st, 2020 and April 30th, 2020 was for a purpose other than paying payroll costs and other allowable uses. And so the list goes on. I further certify that the information provided in this application and the information provided in all supporting documents and forms is true and accurate in all material respects. I understand that knowingly making a false statement to obtain a guaranteed loan from SBA is punishable under the law, including under 18 United States Code 1001 and 3571 by imprisonment of not more than 5 years and or a fine of up to $250,000. Under 15 United States Code 645 by imprisonment of not more than 2 years and or a fine of not more than $5,000, and if submitted to a federally insured institution under 18 United States Code 1014 by imprisonment of not more than 30 years and or a fine of not more than $1 million. So if you submitted that paperwork to a federally insured institution, so that's the banks that have the FDIC, then under imprisonment of not more than 30 years. I acknowledge that the lender will confirm the eligible loan amount using required documents submitted. I understand, acknowledge, and agree that the lender can share any tax information. See, this is how they got you guys. They didn't even specify years. Any tax information that I have provided with SBA's authorized representatives, including authorized representatives of the SBA Office of Inspector General, for the purpose of compliance with the SBA loan program requirements and all SBA reviews. So now you guys see it, the application in itself. You see it. I read this to you guys too. I told you that the SBA can ask you for your financial information on a whim the moment you guys got the loans. So Tommy says, you committed a crime when you submitted the documents, even if you got denied. Yes, yes. Tommy said, y'all knew y'all was lying before y'all could click the agree button. Tommy also said, hold on, what else? Chandra said, laugh out loud. They knew they were crooked. Oh, they said only thing that was true was the line. Y'all killing me today. American Greed gonna have a lot of episodes. American Greed, PPP. They need to have me as their spokesperson. Like literally American Greed, PPP. Have me as their spokesperson. But yeah, guys. So let me go back. So you guys, now are we on the same page when I say that this can lead to criminal time? Do y'all understand? Just for all of my newcomers and for all of you that's new to me, I will always read you the laws, the documents, the real deal. I've been doing this since 2014. I just stopped because y'all was falling prey to the scammers and stuff. Y'all thought when people show y'all they flashy life, that's the life. Y'all was like, fuck Folasade, she don't know. Folasade ain't rich. That's what y'all was saying, right? I don't know nothing. I want you to be straight. Now y'all seeing what I was trying to protect you guys from. And all of them, if you realize, a lot of them people are not online anymore, y'all. Have y'all noticed that all of these coaches and stuff that had y'all scamming and spamming and doing crooking and cooking, they're not nowhere to be found. A lot of them are going to jail quietly. And then a lot of them their businesses are closing. They're going back to 9 to 5s. And a lot of them are leaving the country. Have y'all not peeped that? Like, y'all wouldn't even believe it. We getting the emails from people wanting us to do their tax. Oh, we in Costa Rica. We in Africa now. And we here now. Yes. So, yeah, guys, it's an absolute mess. So let me go back to the Instagram post. really quick and go back to some of the questions, and then we got to tap out because I got to put my babies down. It's past their bedtime, and I've officially stayed up for since I've been back, so I'm happy I can kind of put them down the right way. So somebody on Instagram says, "Woo, that's why I kept my hands." Okay, no, that's not a question. Somebody said, "Are they going to go after the Chinese and other foreign companies?" I don't think they're going specifically based on race, guys. It's data. All of this is data driven. Can we stop putting race into everything and hold ourselves accountable? Because it's not a race thing. If the Chinese companies ended up falsifying information to get the PPP, they fall right into it. Now, if somebody want to push their applications to the side because they're Chinese based, and that's a whole nother ball game. But if they committed the scam and committed the fraud, then they need to be held accountable just like everybody else. So Chandra said, y'all can read the entire cases. They have everything from the text messages to the DMs. Oh, they got all of the tea. People think they're going to get away with it. And social media is telling them folks too. Yes, social media is telling them folks. And that's another thing that I warned you guys about. It was just don't be so boastful because your friends were snitching on people. Literally. So somebody said on Instagram the PPP loan thing was a setup. No, I think that the people I don't think it was a setup. I think that the people was waiting for their quick opportunity, they get rich quick, or for that one time fix or flip or whatever, they took advantage. It was like, oh, I missed out on the mortgage, the loan crisis. Because remember, guys, in 2008, 2005, 2006, 7, 8, and 9. Remember, the housing market was booming. Everybody was getting no doc loans, flipping real estate. And guys, I even had clients that were doing things on the other side. I didn't know that they were, because I will be managing one of their businesses, doing their accounting for it, and that one was fully legit. And come to find out, they was doing mortgage fraud. I even had people close to me, like colleagues, that went to jail for 5 and 10 years for it. So I saw people go down during the real estate boom crisis. I ended up letting go my real estate license because I didn't want my clients to buy during that time, and people were hard-headed, still trying to buy. And so I let go my real estate license during that time because I'm like, I don't want my name to be associated with people losing their homes. I'm telling people don't buy. The market is going to crash. So I've always been predicting things, guys. When the real estate market crashed in 2009, I wasn't online because we didn't have live stream, but I predicted it. If I bring you any of my clients that were my real estate clients, they will tell you, Folasade knew it was coming. Folasade said it was coming 2 years before it came. I've always been a predictor. I've always been very analytical about the business, this economics, business, all of this stuff. So me predicting this PPP, EIDL, the tax games, coming up with tax strategies and people stealing it like their own and all that, that's always been in my blood, y'all. It's always been. I predicted the housing crash in 2008, 2009. I predicted this PPP. It's nothing new. And I even have my old real estate signs in my shed. If y'all don't believe, honey, okay. And I used to be an insurance broker. So yeah, I've been around. That's why I know so much, guys. Not because I just did taxes. I've been in the game. Like I've seen it all. And I've always, what I say, standing on business. You're not going to catch me up. You're not going to have me doing dirt. I always try to do everything the right way, guys. And the people that took shortcuts, they're nowhere to be found. Their businesses aren't successful. They are running from the IRS. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So somebody said, damn, even if you pay it back, yep. Somebody said this is going to have so many people in a situation. They may have become ineligible to receive any future and federal benefits. So yes, you guys may become ineligible for any future federal benefits and also state benefits as well, because a lot of state programs are federally funded. And so if you have a federal felony, then you're ineligible for a lot of federal funding. And if the state gets funding from the federal for that program, you will also be ineligible for it as well. So any of you that qualify for unemployment, TANF, health insurance, housing, all of that can be suspended or taken away due to you taking this PPP loan and all of those things, okay? Somebody said, this is what happens when you mess with the government. It exactly is. Somebody said, I think it's hilarious that people think because it was paid back, that absorbs the crime that was committed. Have none of y'all heard of restitution? People are forced to pay restitution all the time while serving time. And that's true, guys. So the restitution in this case will be the amount of your loan that you received. And then in addition to that, the amount that the government feels as though you hurt the U.S. government. And remember, that is at the judge's discretion. Okay. Remember, your time is also based on the judge's discretion. Okay. Alrighty. So somebody said, glad I only claimed two, myself and editor. All right. Somebody said government set y'all up to grab your hand in the cookie jar. No, the government didn't set nobody up, guys. This was the opportunity for us to operate off the honor system. You guys have to understand, back in the day, business was done off of verb. This is why people say y'all word no good, you not trustworthy, you don't have no balls, because back in the day, your word, your mouth, what you said was all you had to stand on. Like, you had to back up what you say. If you say you was going to do this, you were going to do this, right? That's that honor system, and that's what the government wanted from you guys. They wanted you guys to complete the applications accurately. They didn't want people coming and frauding people. And this is why it's so disappointing, because you guys don't understand the amount of work that went into getting the programs up and them forms and applications. Them government agencies worked overnight for weeks and weeks and years to make sure that you guys had the funding. And just from an accounting standpoint, we were beat trying to complete applications, read every policy, figure out all of the forms. So for y'all to take advantage, like, it hurts, because even me and my team, we were stressed. I had to read so much. It was crazy. And so I had to read enough to make sure my clients can qualify, get the paperwork, documentation. When I tell you, we worked overtime. And so I can imagine what the SBA and all of them did to get those programs to you guys. They worked. It wasn't they hit a Mark Zuckerberg building Facebook mode. It was working all night, 24/7. Okay. So somebody said government set y'all up. Okay, my hubby was just saying how that the whole thing and the ERC money was a setup. So remember, I responded to that. I don't think it was a setup. Somebody said Biden is pure ridiculous. Scratch my head. Like, WTF. All of this going on, that has enough to be worried. So yes, I understand that. Like, do we really have time for that? And then somebody said he need to focus on this. This was fraud. I did report. And see, this was one of my concerns, that people that you know of is going to report you guys. And I'm not going to show this person's name, but this person said this was fraud. I did report some people. I knew that committed PPP fraud. He can work on both. So people that you knew, your best friend, your cousin, your uncle, had probably snitched on you already and you didn't even know. Some of you guys have already been snitched on by somebody else that was hating on you or mad at you because you stunning on them or whatever. You try to act like you were better than them because they didn't do it or didn't qualify, whatever the case may be. People snitching. But I warned y'all about that. Somebody said, okay, let me go back up. So Chandra said, y'all can, okay, no, we read that one. We read that. Okay, so Tommy said, don't use race just because a lot of black people got the loan. That's what I'm saying, Tommy. Don't even do the race thing, right? I'm not fooling with y'all. Tommy said, don't do the race thing. Hold on. Tommy said, they arrested every color. They really are, guys. It's no particular. It's not a white, black, gray, Hispanic thing. It's all about paperwork, guys. Okay. Tommy said they expected fraud, but not this much. Right. This was too much. You guys took it too far. Back then, your word was, word. Thank you. Word was bond. That's what it was. Thank you for that, Tommy. Back in the day, your word was bond, meaning what you say is what you were supposed to deliver. Like all we had was a trust process. And see, one thing, can I be honest? A lot of business start off with less policies, and as y'all dupe us, that's when the policies come up. That's when there's no more handshake business. That's when you got to sign a contract before I do your taxes. I remember back in the day, I used to have people just drop off their taxes. I do everything. Oh, I'm coming back for last year, and all of them will come back. And then they'll be shopping around. So now, guess what? Most of us don't just do tax returns without getting a 50% payment. I know I don't. I'm not touching nobody's taxes if you haven't been a client of mine for 15, 20 years without a payment. I'm not. Because y'all word is not bond. Thank you for that, Tommy. I really appreciate that. Okay, Tommy said, now your word is your bail bond. Oh, yes, your word is your bail's bond, guys. So any questions at all, guys, at all about all of this PPP stuff? And I've already asked my team to go ahead on and compile all of my PPP. I tried, look, guys, I'm not the YouTube expert, okay? My team does that. But before tonight's live stream, I try to go and create a YouTube playlist. It's hard. It's not just set up a playlist. And I had the videos like I thought it was, guys. It's kind of technical, so I really don't have the time to try to figure out something that my team is already knowing how to do. So I'm going to have my team create a PPP playlist on my YouTube, which is Folasade TV. So you guys can head over to my YouTube channel and end up watching all of those videos. And you guys will see every step of the way from the application process. I told you what the scammers were going to have you to do. I told you guys what not to do. I told you guys what type of fraud cases, for criminal charges that could be brought up against you guys. When they start investigating you guys, I begged you guys. I told you what documents they will be looking at and auditing every year if you got the PPP. I told you guys they was going to look at your tax returns, look at your bank statements, and request things. And as you guys can see, they are subpoenaing in banks. They are subpoenaing in third parties. It's proof in a pot, and they've been doing it since 2020. It's just the fact that it's over 5,000 plus banks that have gotten into the fraud. That it's just, how many workers is it really at the Department of Justice, right? How many people, right? It's quite a bit, but not as many to audit 3.7 million applications. Okay. And we can actually, I think I might go into this another, like, because there's so much content in this document that I know you guys will want to know. Oh my gosh. It talk about everything, the numbers are tight. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay. They even going after the nonprofits. They was like, the nonprofits had done some shady stuff, y'all. They go after the churches that are nonprofits. Oh my gosh, no one is safe, okay? No one is safe at this moment. Nationwide. I'm gonna Okay, guys. So do you guys have any questions before I get out of here? So Tommy says the Department of Justice website has hundreds of arrests and convictions. Yes, they do. They do. They have so many. They wasn't trying to hear that. They thought you was just hating on them. Yep, they thought I was hating big time. Y'all thought I was hating on y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I want y'all to get rich. I want y'all to be happy. I want y'all to be gospel. I want you guys to have the most amazing life, but I want y'all to do it the right way. I don't want you guys to have sleepless nights. I want you guys to sleep peacefully with your money. That's what I want. I never wanted you guys to get loans and have to worry about how you're going to pay it back. Did you do it right? No. If we're going to get money over here, we getting it the right way. We coming up legally. We coming up the right way. That's why I teach you guys about tax strategies the right way. Okay. That's why I don't sugarcoat with my tax strategies. I tell you guys, oh, you're missing something. You got to do this. So you can't just deduct that. And I try not to do clickbait with my content as well. And that's another thing I'm finding. You guys are falling prey to people's clickbait, which is just their marketing. And I know we got to have that little 60-second little reel to attract you guys, but you got to dig deeper. Is this person an expert? You know? Tommy, you killing me. Tommy says too late. They looking through the blinds now. Yeah, guys, you guys are really looking through the blinds. So let me go ahead on. Give me 1 second, and then we're about to close out. Okay. All right. So, all right. So just to give you some context, so you guys can know that the Department of Justice, they're actually actively working. So this is a recent case that was just posted. 6 individuals charged in connection with $7.5 million multi-state PPP fraud scheme. This is what, January 16th, 2024. They're working. And this is the Massachusetts. And they have all the people's names listed. This is embarrassing. Wallace Ford, Andiana Perry, the people's names are listed. Okay? So we can, yeah, we can search PPP. Okay. And these are all like within the past like year. And these are just cases that they were able to close. These are not pending investigations. These are the ones that's actually public. Okay. And if you guys go back to some of my videos on my YouTube, you will see that they even arrested a few people that only had $20,000 in PPP funding. Some people only had 50,000. It wasn't just they were going after the people that did millions of dollars. They were going after people with different amounts. And so this is ongoing, guys. Okay. And let me take the okay. And then last but not least, guys, I just want to tell you guys to be very mindful. Okay, so Tommy says, what about the ones that paid $5,000 to get it done, but on the hook for the whole? So they will be on the hook for the whole $20,833. Now, if you had somebody do your application and they did it fraudulently, I would snitch. Growing up, where you don't want to snitch on people and stuff, right? But if you knew you really ain't know, and that person really did through some stuff on there, they're responsible a little bit too, right? I would be prepared to send over their information too. Hey, can I get a lower sentence? Can we work together if I give you the person to help, do the application for me? Yeah, that's what I will be thinking. Okay. What about the ones? Yeah, I will be, yeah, I do think they're going to extend the statute of limitations again. And the reason why I think that is because there's no statute of limitations for tax fraud. And so they're going to use, I think they're going to use the grounds that, oh my goodness, if they committed tax fraud and there's no statute of limitations for that, then it should all, because the PPP and the EIDL was in conjunction to the tax return, then it should be also no statute of limitations. I don't think that they've thought of that thus far. So you guys are also hearing that here first. That right now they've only extended it for 10 years, but I personally don't think that they realize that when you commit tax fraud, there's no statute of limitations. And so I don't think that they connected the dots. Oh, well, since they use the tax return to do the fraud, that there should also be no statutory limitations for this as well. So I think that's the grounds that they're going to utilize to be able to extend this for more than the next 15 years. This is going to be ongoing for the next 10 to 15 years. Now, if Trump come into office with a different initiative and try to prevent the government from, doing this, then hey, Y'all might be good. That's why I say go ahead on and pray, y'all. Pray. But I think it's only so much he can possibly do since it's already an ongoing investigation, funding already applied, and I don't think he'll really be able to stop it if Trump did come into office. Okay. I know I sound like a crook trying to get information, but I didn't get one live out loud. No, no, no. You don't sound like a crook that's trying to get information. No, no, no. You don't sound like a crook that's trying to get information. Okay, guys. So, do you guys have any questions, any concerns at all before I head out? I am so tired. Um, this type of information, it drains me. You guys may think creating content is easy and stuff. When you're connected to this type of stuff, distress stuff, and the fact that y'all future is on the line, it is very stressful on my spirit. Like, it's very stressful because I warned you guys, and I'm just mad because this impacts your children now, and we don't know what the outcome may be. Every judge have the right to give you guys the max, and we don't know if when your time come, if they're going to give you the max. You understand? um and I just hope that we realize, and I said this before in one of my live streams the other day, like 3 weeks ago, I think, when I said that we as Black people going to realize that, this is just my personal opinion. I feel like God don't want us to scam, especially not extensively. He want us. We're so powerful. We're so strong. We're so amazing. And we can do it all, guys. I don't think he wants us to scam. I think he just wants us to put our foots on the ground and put our head down and work hard for everything that we get. Because if it seemed like every time the black community get hip into a program or something, it just seemed like we just end up screwed. Like with the housing market, so many Black people got screwed. And then now with this PPP and EIDL, guys, it just don't seem like it's in our best interest to do any of this scam and stuff. It just seems like God just wants us to just do the right thing. And so I just want to leave you guys with this. When you take shortcuts, you will have to spin the block again. Meaning, when you take shortcuts to get money, build a business, you're going to have to start all over again. It's no easy route out. There's no get rich quick scheme. I wish you guys would have listened to me over the course of these past few years. A lot of you wouldn't have invested so much money into bad coaching and bad businesses and have done so much scams. But because I'm not going to show you my house, I don't have a Bentley. I'm not toting, money and faking like I'm in the bank withdrawing 10, 15 stacks. Y'all didn't listen to me. And you guys have to understand that it's not smart to toot your horn. If you guys cannot believe based on my track record and my results, then that's where the issue comes into place. Why should we have to go and do deceptive marketing, lifestyle marketing for you guys to pay attention? I don't want to have to show you guys my house. I have a little regular single family house that I got when I was 25 years old. I've already had a house before. A lot of these scammers, but we're not going to see that. I'm not going to show you my truck and my car. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to show you I bought a new Louis Vuitton bag or I have this much money saved. I'm not going to do that for you guys to believe that I make what I make or I'm established or I know what I'm talking about. But one thing I want you guys to understand is that when I come in here and talk, I'm talking from experience, from the truth, from pure honesty. I don't benefit when you guys scam. I lose when you guys scam because now there's another small business that I may not be able to provide accounting services for down the line. Your family lose when you scam because that's another opportunity for us not to be able to build generational wealth. Guys, this time was our time to really flip things, not flip the PPP loans, but flip the system in its head. This was our time for us to put our head down, our feet on the ground, and build successful, profitable, scalable, and sustainable businesses. But what did you guys do? You use that time during COVID to BS, travel, get the loans, don't do right, and scam, get all this money, and then now you have nothing to show for it. And a lot of you have even gotten unemployment. Like, y'all jobs will be firing y'all soon. Like, do y'all not understand that the moment this employment fraud come up, see, because the states are coming too, that you will automatically, more than likely, 90% of the time, 90% of the time, whoever get caught up with this unemployment scam will lose their job. So forget about federal benefits at the moment, and state benefits. You might immediately lose your job because your job will know, because they will be informed, because they're going to request the time that you work with them. When you guys submit for unemployment, see, this is, again, y'all don't understand how the system works. And I warned y'all, everything connects. If you guys check out my book, Audit Proof, you will see everything connects. Everything connects. Okay? So when you guys submitted those unemployment claims, what you guys didn't realize was that eventually your job will have to verify your time of employment. So they will ask your job, and it's not just the job that you're on. They end up sending it to multiple jobs that you worked at and ask us, did this person work with you during this time frame? And they will give you a certain time frame. They will say 1 year, 2 years, this quarter, this month, whatever period they want. And then we're supposed to say yes. And then they say, okay, if yes, please tell us the amount of hours and the amount of wages that you paid them. And so right off the bat, your job will have to write that in and send it to unemployment. So then unemployment is now going to connect that to the claims that was made under your social security number with the time frame that you requested the funding and that you said that you were unemployment, in conjunction with the employment report that your jobs just gave them. So eventually the states are going to connect the dots as well. But you guys are going to lose your jobs. You guys going to, and like, this is just coming to a forehead, and I just wish that I could just rewind the time and and start all over for you guys and have y'all watch each and one of my video like we're in class. This is fraud. Don't do this. This is a scam. Don't fall for it. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't, yeah. So yeah, guys, that's basically it. Do you guys have any questions, any concerns, or anything before I go? I'm winding down. The jet lag is still kicking in. I'm tired. So do you guys have any questions? Like, even my eyes feeling like it's blurry. I think too much reading too. I didn't have my glasses on. So do you guys have any questions or any concerns, or do you feel like I missed anything in today's live stream? Please let me know before I leave. I got like 1 or 2 minutes. Any questions, any concerns, or do you feel like I missed out on anything on this live stream? We good? All right, guys. I love you guys so much. I hope that, like I asked you guys, please go and pray to your God, because he's miraculous, man. Okay? I can't pray for you guys individually, but I will definitely pray for you guys and hope that the system stop. But, y'all individuals have to do your own prayers as well. But do me one favor, guys. When you file this tax return, this year's tax return, please file it correctly. Please file it correctly. If you know if you didn't pay for that expense, don't claim it. If you know you didn't make money in that business, and see, this is where the problem comes. See, a lot of you guys didn't realize that when you increase your business revenue on your tax return, you committed fraud. So don't just go and throw income on there. Say you made $50,000 and you only made $20,000. That's fraud. Okay. File your tax returns correctly, and don't just take frivolous tax strategies as well, guys. we're not in that landscape anymore. We actually stopped it in 2019, because if you go back to my content from 2019, I begged y'all before the COVID happened to let's get our paperwork in order. Let's just do things right. Let's prepare for unforeseen. And I also predicted the COVID. I said, guys, something is going to happen. We have to prepare for unforeseen circumstances. Go back to my content. We have to prepare for unforeseen circumstances. We have to prepare for, that's what I kept saying like a year before COVID hit. Come to find out when COVID hit, I said, guys, go back. I've been preparing you guys for unforeseen circumstances. Do you have your paperwork in order? Because if you do, you're good. If you listen, you rocking it. Go apply for your PPP. Go get your funding so you can keep your business open. And the people that listened to me, they were able to apply for their PPPs. Everything was legit because they was tracking their stuff. They hired their bookkeepers. They were doing things right. The people that didn't listen, y'all was scrambling, and y'all the ones that fell prey to the internet scammers. Guys, a lot of people are not for you. A lot of people have their own personal agenda. And one thing I can say, that God always told me that my money is going to come when I serve you guys. I can't cheat y'all. I can't cheat the system. I just can't do it. I've never been that type of person I always felt like I'll get in trouble first. Like I'll get caught up first. Okay. So yeah, guys, I wish you guys the absolute best. I will try to do my other content. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow because I have some other content I want to talk about, finishing up from our 2024 updates. Okay. So I'll come and finish part 2. And I think I have a part 3 of that because it was so many additional and new tax credits and strategies and things for this upcoming year. That was great. They're temporary, but they're great. We always take advantage of them. And that's basically it, guys. I love you guys so much. I wish you guys the absolute best. Get on your knees and pray and make sure you do everything right going forward, guys. And if you want me to file your taxes, or if you want me to be your accountant or represent you in an audit or anything, head over to my link tree in my bios and click the link. It says, I want you to file my taxes. I want you to be my accountant. I want you to do my bookkeeper, be my bookkeeper, whatever service you want me to offer for me and my team. Click it, get on my calendar so you can speak with me, so we can get you guys on the right track. And hopefully, I can't backtrack now. Whatever the hell you done, you done. We now need to do the right thing going forward, guys. I love you guys so much. I wish you guys the absolute best. And let's stop cheating the system, because it seemed like everybody about to get snatched up now. And it's only going to be with what is the survival of the fittest now? And see, this is where it gets scary, guys. And have y'all even thought about this? Y'all know I'm a little conspiracy theorist a little bit. You got a lot of people dying from the vax. And then you got a lot of people that's about to go to jail and on probation, lose jobs, lose benefits because of the COVID funding. So just with COVID alone, millions of people financially and physically are being wiped out because of decisions making. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I am unvaxxed. I didn't get the vaccine. And I didn't cheat on my PPP or EID applications. And I didn't cheat for my clients. So these two situations doesn't impact me. But have any of you guys thought about that? That the people that got the vaccine are dying, and the people that cheated the system, financial systems, are being put on probation and being prosecuted and possibly going to lose some of their freedom. Do y'all realize that? Because of the decisions that you guys made during the pandemic, and I attempted to warn each and every one of you guys diligently. You didn't eat the rainbow good. So guys, I love you guys. Please, if you know a friend that got the PPP or anything, send them to this video. A few attorney sites basically was saying that if you didn't get the PPP over $100,000 fraudulently, they can't even help you. And because it's so many cases, they're saying that they can't even take small cases. Like if you go to a few attorney sites that's doing the PPP frauds, They already said they can't even take any more cases. If it's not under 100,000, if it's not over 100,000, they can't work with you. So they're getting overworked as well. Okay? I don't know what to say, guys. This is what you guys got yourself into. And I tried to warn y'all. So, alrighty, guys. I love you guys. I will see you on my next live stream.